Hey y'all, X-Art student here. I know I said I wouldn't do it again until October, but I'm doing it again. I signed up for an art market this summer. It's actually happening tomorrow. I figured I'd bend the rules a little bit for myself, only because this place had really good social media marketing and seemed pretty cool and maybe my vibe, so I wanted to try it. And since I am trying it, I wanted to create some new products because I've definitely sold a lot the past few markets, and sometimes my booth kind of looks a little empty, even though I feel like I bring a lot. So might as well try to get inspired, make new things, and hopefully bring more people around, because a lot of the stuff that I sell at markets are old things. So might as well freshen it up with my new stuff and my new style and make it really something that I would want in my own home. As you can see, I'm designing these moths. I modeled them off of real ones, and I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to add them to glass art, I guess. I found a bunch of cool glass shapes. They're like little frames at Michael's, and I wanted to experiment with them using Armour Etch or just cool drawings of moths or whatever I'm drawing that day, and see what I could create. Once I cut out the prisma drawing, I glue the backs of it, and then I apply it to the glass, hoping that it will lay perfectly. I used a dry leaf on this one and layered it underneath the Luna moth. I really think this one's very, very cute. I would love to make more of these. Next, I decided to do some wood burning. I had a bunch of wood lying around and I didn't know what to do. I looked through my sketchbook and found this cute poppy skull boy, and I really enjoyed drawing him, so I figured why not make a cute wood burning of him. I always mention in my wood burning videos that I want to continue doing wood burning and I want to get better at it, but I'm definitely not that skilled with all of the tips that they have. Normally I do a straight chiseled edge for my wood burning, but this time I decided to do more of a pencil point. My line work was okay, it just kind of felt bumpy. I did eventually go in with the chiseled tip to get those details on the flower. I think it made it look a lot better and more like a woodblock print, which I like that style. And then I decided to do dots on the inside where the poppy seeds would normally be. I used this tiny tip from Amazon and it totally snapped. So it's still burning hot and it's broken metal. I had to go in with a bigger tip to fix it. I'm never buying Amazon tips again. This wood burning piece was based off of one of my daily sketches from my daily sketch challenge, and it's a two-headed person with a moth coming out the middle of their head. I don't know if it turned out great, but it was fun doing. I felt like I was able to get the characters' details pretty well. I eventually went in with the chiseled tip. It really helped with the hair details. A challenge I have with wood burning is never knowing what to do with the background. I could just burn it all, I could do some kind of design, I could leave it blank. Here I just kind of experimented and did this almost hair-like background. I think it looks interesting. I don't know if it goes well with the piece. I think because I used that chisel tip, it works. I still had a lot more wood left over, and I wanted to do at least one more piece. I wanted to do one of my traditional tattoo sketches as wood burning. I thought the sun was really successful. This pencil tip was kind of hard to make the circles, but I think it's kind of like a charm to it. I like how it worked with these little petals. I just really cannot get curls or any kind of not straight design, like any squiggles on wood burning. I feel like it becomes too angular and it takes away from the beauty of a swirl. And it just became too chunky, it got too hot, it got stuck. I was very disappointed and feeling pretty defeated with this piece at certain points of it. I am pretty happy with how the face details turned out. Sometimes I'm really worried about those tiny details, because if you mess it up, it messes up the whole thing. But I think it turned out relatively well. Every time I wood burn, it's always a learning experience. I have to learn to be patient, I have to work with the tools more and work with the heat and just really slow down. I think patience is key with this stuff, because if not, you're just gonna mess up. The background, I was really feeling dots. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a tattoo design and sometimes you have to do a little bit of stippling. I was worried that the background and the rays of sun were too similar, so adding the paint to the light parts of the wood and then adding paint to the background really helped. I also used the wood burning tool, like a flat edge of it, to compress the dark parts of the rays, so then it was literally depressed in the wood. I debated a lot if I should color this in or not, and I thought since it was a flower, it's a poppy, I think it should stand out a little bit, and I wanted just a light amount of color, not too in your face, so then it just added a little bit to this piece. I think I struggle with the paint because I want people to appreciate the natural wood and how it burns and not just solely focus on color. I wanted to get back to the glass. I used Photoshop to design some spider webs. I wanted this to be a layered piece because I had a front piece of glass and I had a back piece. I also wanted to add this cool doodle I did for my daily drawing series to the crescent moon. I thought, why not add a bunch of moths, because moths and moons make sense. Lastly, I wasn't happy with my chain girl picture, so I decided to add some chains to this using Armour Etch. Once I was done with my doodles on Photoshop, I brought it into my vinyl cutter program and had my machine cut the designs. I just had to keep an eye out on it to make sure it didn't mess up at all, because sometimes it does, whether the speed or the force is wrong, or maybe the vinyl is just shit. You have to figure it out in order to make it work and get the design that you actually want. After the vinyl cutter was done, I took my tweezers and I started weeding out the pieces. So then wherever I wanted the Armour Etch to show up, that's where the sticker was gone. So it's important that I paid attention and made sure it was exactly where I wanted. And as you can see here, I kind of struggled with the vinyl weeding because sometimes it doesn't cut correctly or the blade skips some areas. So you just have to go slow and try to follow your design as best you can. Next, I'm placing each weeded piece onto this transfer tape. Try to put all of the pieces as close as possible so then I don't waste any transfer tape, because you never know when you'll need a little piece to transfer some other project. I use the squeegee to flatten all of the pieces onto the transfer tape so that it actually sticks and I don't have to worry about anything when I'm peeling it off onto the new surface. I use the squeegee on the new surface, so then the sticker sticks to that surface, and then I could peel away the transfer tape. Once the vinyl's set, I add Armour Etch, and I let it stay on the surface of the glass for 2 minutes. I mainly put it where that design is because I don't want to waste my Armour Etch. Right now, it's burning into the glass, a cool design. Off camera, I washed off all of the Armour Etch, and now I'm peeling off the vinyl. Here is where you get to see the actual design come to life. You're like, oh my gosh, it actually worked. This is so cool. Something I made is permanently in glass. Okay, cool, my experiment actually worked. I was really happy with how the chains turned out. I think it added to the piece, but the one that I was most excited for was this coffin. I don't really work with coffins or spiderwebs often, and I've never done a concept of something stuck in a spiderweb. Why not have a bunch of beautiful moths stuck in the webs? And because I had the front and the back coffin, it looked like there was layers to the webs and they were actually stuck. Lastly, I decided to try making prints and stickers. It actually turned out pretty well. I packaged them up and hopefully people will like them. We are at the end, so let's take a look at those close-up shots. Here's my posting schedule. I hope to see you one of these days this week. Thank you so much for watching. Consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye! Have a good day!